through Zoom. I guess we'll figure out what works best for this class. What works best for this class may not be the same thing what works best for other classes. So, bear with me. First few classes might be a little bit shaky, but I'm pretty sure we'll figure out something which works for us. So, in between, if you think there's something which is, something is not is not working well for you, or if you have suggestions, please feel free to email me, and I'll try my best to accommodate that. Okay, welcome to this class. This is ME 410. I would like to call it robotics instead of calling it automation robotics. My email is there. You can email me anytime you have any questions about the class. And today's class, I'm just going to introduce the class topics and sort of the protocols. And if we have time, I'll get into MATLAB. Jobs were in defense, and you needed to be a US citizen or a permanent resident to get those jobs. But that's no longer true. It's the field is burgeoning, and there are more opportunities now than they were 5-6 years back. So three of the main places where you'll find jobs are, well, manufacturing, that's been for a long time, automobile and aerospace, cars, autonomous cars is a big deal these days. Research universities, and that usually requires you to have a master's and a PhD. What's coming up these days is private companies getting into robotics. So there are numerous startups, and there is some risk in going in with startups, is because many of them don't last. So many robotic companies actually failed. And from one statistic, I think there was like 95 startups actually failed. So if you get a job like that, you have to be careful. But being in a startup is a great place to learn, because everything is like everybody is super energetic, and there's always these deadlines and so on. Google got into robotics a little bit in 2013. There were multiple companies they bought, but looks like they've backed from it. Amazon is into flying, I think, UAVs essentially to deliver. Apple is getting into robotics. You guys all know about SpaceX and Tesla. And these places actually are private companies, and that's where you can find a job without being a citizen of any country. It's free to everybody. And then, of course, education. Okay, so this is just giving a flavor of careers. We can talk more about careers, but I would say it's getting better and better in terms of robotics. In fact, there are many programs in the US who actually offer a master's in robotics that didn't exist 5 years back. So since more and more universities are offering a master's, I believe that they've done their homework and figured out there is a need for roboticists to come out with the masters in robotics, not masters in mechanical, masters in aerospace, but robotics, which will get them jobs. So clearly there is a boom. Okay, so there are just two people who are going to staff this course. It's myself and my TA, Ali Zamani, who's my PhD student. And most of the time, you'll interact with me, and Ali will help me with grading. Okay. There are about 5 or 6 books I've put on the syllabus. The syllabus is posted on Blackboard. That's the pre-final version. I'll post the final version later today. And I've listed a bunch of textbooks there. The good news is you don't have to buy any book. I don't really follow any particular book. My notes are based on a couple of books. And so the notes would be the best way to go. But if you want something to read, then yeah, there are 5 books which I've posted on the syllabus. Blackboard will be used for everything, for syllabus announcement, notes, videos, etc. So that's your one place stop for everything. Okay. This course has some prerequisites, and 410 is one of them. Since most of you are in this class, you probably have met the prerequisite. Linear algebra, matrices, ODEs, and calculus is something you've probably done in your freshman year, so it's not a problem. MATLAB is heavily used in this course, and it would be nice if you had prior knowledge, but I just don't assume you have the knowledge or you remember MATLAB. So I'm going to sort of teach you MATLAB from scratch, and you will pick this up as you go. And really, to tell you frankly, when you join a company, it's more like you got to pick things on the way. You can't just say, I'm going to stop 1 month, I'm going to take off and get into a Coursera course and take MATLAB, learn it, and then go and then do the job. You have to basically pick up things on the way. So that's something which you will hopefully pick up, and you'll get better at MATLAB. There is a simulator I'm using called Coppelia, and this one requires programming in Lua. I have never programmed in Lua, so learning Coppelia was my first time learning about Lua. And the good thing about learning any programming language is that once you learn one of them, picking up the other ones is not hard. So the hard part is Lua has a different syntax from MATLAB, and so you might have to use the internet to search how you write, say, a if loop or a while loop, and again, it'll be a little bit of learning, and so that will take a bit of your time to actually pick up scripts in Lua. But I think it can be done if you know one language, if you're grounded in one language. Okay, again, I don't assume you know Lua, and I'll teach it from scratch. Currently, we are scheduled to meet Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 to 10:50. And as I said, the whole class is going to be virtual. And that's the tiny link, which you should bookmark. Okay. Okay, so a few things about lecture policy. So I guess you guys have done this in the spring semester, and you guys more or less know this, but try to mute yourself. And I saw everybody was muted when they joined. That's good. If you want to turn your video on, go for it. Just be presentable, because I may not get offended, but some other people may get offended if you're not presentable. So it's always good to be presentable. What I'll do is all lectures, which essentially this is being recorded. And so I'll share that. And the way I do it is I post on YouTube and link it to Blackboard. So what I tell people is that if you don't want your work, so only this will be recorded, only this presentation will be recorded. The chat window, everything will not be recorded, it will not be shared. So if you don't want to be on that video, then you probably don't ask questions, because if you ask questions, your voice will be recorded. So the best way for you to interact, if you don't want yourself recorded, is to actually use the chat bar and type your questions, and hopefully I'll see them, I'll get to them, or I'll try my best to get to them. And that way you will not be in the recording. Okay, and the best part about this is you don't have to attend the class. I actually, even when it was in person, I did not mandate attending. I will not take attendance. And especially in this semester when, things are hard for everybody. I know that some of you are, you have constraints in terms of family and, other things. It's very understandable that you cannot attend, and feel free to not attend. Everything here, lecture, videos, as well as notes will be posted. Okay. And I'll try my best to record everything. Sometimes it does happen that recordings doesn't come through. God forbid it doesn't happen, but hopefully you will have the notes in that case. Okay. Okay, so the most important thing, I think this is one of the key slides. Everybody is interested in how will they be graded. So what I've done is there's going to be homeworks. And in the past, when I tried to do only homeworks, students just skipped the programming part. So I actually going to lay emphasis on homework as well as the part of the homework which involves programming. Okay, so you are supposed to write some programs, and then that would be graded separately from the parts which says homework. So occasionally what will happen is some homework has only programming or only questions which don't require programming. In that case, you'll only get points for that particular part. Some homeworks will have both components. So it's really flexible. This homework programming is flexible, but you're going to get credit for both parts. And that's the key. I want you to learn programming, and that's why I'm sort of enforcing it through this grading policy. I'll have 2 exams, and they will be 15%, midterm and a final. It'll be take home. You can refer to your notes and any resources really, but don't talk with others. Don't discuss your questions with others. You can only discuss questions with me. That is very important, that you don't discuss with others. So it's not teamwork, the finals and the midterms, so don't do that. That's the only thing I ask. There's going to be computing projects, and I think this is a way you can actually get more from the course. And these are just spin-offs from the class material, and they would be, some of them would be in MATLAB, some of them will be in Coppelia. And I've seen many people use this to hone to improve their resume. You can, hopefully these projects are worth for them to come up in your resume saying that you did some projects in this course which are sort of more advanced than homework. So hopefully it'll satisfy that, but also give you some exposure to realistic problems. I'll also have, so if you sum this up, it comes to 100%, and I'll actually have some bonus for Piazza. Piazza is and I'll get to Piazza. It's basically a forum where you can ask questions and get feedback really quickly. And then I'll have some bonus homework, which I'll announce. This will be a bonus homework. You're not required to do the bonus homework, but if you want extra credit, then please go ahead and do the homework. Okay, so what's required for this class is, well, first of all, you need a fast, stable internet, and that's only if you're attending lectures. If you're going to not attend lectures, but download the videos or watch the videos later on, then you just need a good, relatively good internet, which can download stuff, right? The MATLAB part and Coppelia, if you're going to install it on your computer, then you need 4 GB RAM, 8 GB preferred. And then MATLAB, I think, requires quite a bit of memory in terms of space to install the program. It's about 8 to 9 GB. So ensure that you have that. If you don't have that, then what I recommend is you can get a hard drive, or even thumb drives. These days have 16 gigs. So you can actually install MATLAB on the external drive and connect it to your computer whenever you need to. Okay. Now, some of you, I believe, may not have access to a computer like that. ACC actually offers you, can actually loan you a laptop. Okay, and this is actually in the syllabus for the details on how to contact ACC. Okay, so go through that if you want a loaned computer. Okay, so a little bit more about MATLAB. So people who have been in UIC should know this, but if you're new to UIC, then there are two options to MATLAB. One is you can get it free via Citrix. This is, you basically do computing on the cloud, and computations are done on the cloud, and you do not install MATLAB on your computer. Okay, the other option is you actually buy a student version. And I would actually recommend buying a student version. So don't buy the books, but buy the MATLAB student versions. That's the only thing I think which would be useful than having the Citrix, because sometimes Citrix is very slow. I've seen this personally, it goes very slow. The good news is that the desktop version is fairly cheap. It's just $99. Okay, and the link is in the syllabus. As I said, we'll be using this simulator called Coppelia Sim. It's actually free, the education version, and you can download it for free and install it. It takes about maybe a gig of hard drive space. Okay, is that it? Okay, I click the free to have groups of 2. I don't want people to have groups of 3 and 4, because once it's 3 or more, it's more like 2 people are doing the work, or 1 person is doing the work, and the other people are just not doing anything. And so I don't want that to happen. So feel free to organize yourself in groups of 2 if you want. If you don't have a group, then email me, and then I can maybe set you up with somebody. Okay. You can also use Piazza to set up groups. Okay. All the homework is going to be due on Sunday, unless I announce it that the date has changed. All the submissions will be online through Gradescope, and Gradescope is a tool which is used for grading. You essentially do your homework on paper or tablet, and then you make a PDF. And the way you do a PDF is, if you're using a tablet, and it's easy. If you're using paper, then a software I recommend is Scanner. I think it's a free software. It helps you to take a photograph of your work, and then you can generate a PDF. When you submit the homework, especially the MATLAB part, I expect you to provide code, plots, and so on. And then what will happen is some of the parts involve animations, and you can't submit animations in Gradescope. So I would expect you to either post it on YouTube and send me a link, or you can send it via email. So I'll announce that, and that will become clear when I send you the homework. Just like the homework, projects will be done in max groups of 2. the due dates will be announced. Most likely these projects will be code. And so I would want you to email them to me and the TA. And again, that will be clear in the instructions for that particular project. We expect, as I said, both people in the group to contribute. And then one thing we do is to check if both people are contributing, we actually might do a peer review. So we might ask both of the participants, what did you contribute? Or we might even assess you. We might ask you questions to see how much did you contributed, or, you said you did something, we'll ask you questions. Okay, tell us how you did this or how you did that. So the whole point is really to make sure that you are working on the project. Both of the students are participating and contributing to the project. The exams are 15%, two exams. It really takes a lot of time to make up these exams. So I would say we try not to have make-up exams or extra exams, but if there is some emergency and if you have a medical note, then we should find a way to give you a make-up exam. This is going to be a 24-hour open book notes exam, no discussing copying, as I said earlier. And unlike other things in the course, like homework, project, this is absolutely individual work, no group work allowed. So there'll be some extra credit for being active on Piazza, and the link to Piazza is it's here, piazza.com. The last bullet gives you the link, which is also in the syllabus. What happens is when you email me a question and I respond to you, it may take me 24 hours, but Piazza is a forum where everybody can see the question and answer the question. And you can also see answers to previous questions. So in case you have some question, you just search for if that question has been answered. If not, you post your question and you can get feedback really fast. Since there are 40 plus students, almost 50 now, I'm hoping that this will be a very fast way for you to get response. So I would highly recommend that you join Piazza. Again, Piazza is not mandatory. This is just if you want to participate, you want extra credit, then join Piazza. Okay, office hours are the same link, and they're going to be Thursday, Friday, 11 to 12. So Friday after the class, I'll have office hours. And this is just because I think Sunday the homeworks are due, so you might need help just before the homeworks are due. Again, you can email me. My email is right there. Okay, so if you saw the course description and you tried to join this, well, you probably saw the course description before you signed up for this course. This is basically what the course description says. And let me tell you this course was created in fall of 1991, when I'm sure many of you must not have been even born, right? And clearly things have changed from 30 years since then, things have changed. And so I don't think that many of these things are really applicable. So I'm going to not teach some of these things like pneumatics, hydraulics. I'm not going to teach sequential control. That's just, we don't even do this thing in robotics anymore. The things which are important, I think, are kinematics and dynamics, trajectory planning and application. So actually this is the revised description. And I'm hopefully trying to make it so that it is relevant to you. And when you try to go for a job search, or even people who are doing a master's can actually use this to, get a job or get into a master's or a PhD program. Okay, so this is going to be the syllabus. It's in the syllabus, which you can see on Blackboard. Coppelia Robotics is a new software that just came across last year. It is got some. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing and share my screen now.